Hi, it's just on 6 o'clock. Welcome to Love Doing Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Hope all is good with you on this Wednesday evening. Time for a midweek stretch. As ever, throughout the practice, listen to your body. Only do what feels right for you today. I will give you different levels that you can work on, so just go with what works for you in the pose. Let us begin by lying down. We're doing quite a lot of hip work today, let me warn you. If hips are your thing. Hips are not really my thing, so this will be challenging for me today. So just making yourself comfortable on the mat. Giving yourself permission to slow down and come into the present moment. Allowing the mind to become calm as you give yourself this hour to nourish your body and ease out your mind. And as you start to take that journey inward, just start to pay attention to your senses. Your sense of smell. Notice the smells around you. Allow them to fill you. If you don't notice any smell in particular, you could imagine a smell. Maybe the smell of a rose or your favorite flower. And allow your attention now to move to your sense of hearing. Listening to all of the sounds around you. Not just my voice and the music, but any white noise there may be, any other noise there is around you. Just allowing that noise to fill you and to move through you. Giving it your full attention. Noticing that screen now at the back of your eyelids as you bring your attention to your sense of sight. Just notice what it presents to you. Stay with it a while. And letting your attention now move to your sense of touch, noticing your connection point with the earth, the backs of your legs against the mat, your hands and arms on the mat, your shoulder blades, the back of your head. Just noticing how you're being held by the earth. And noticing the temperature of your skin, the texture of your clothes. And allowing that attention to move now to your breath as you just observe yourself breathing in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. And taking 3 more breaths here. Just noticing that nice rhythmic breath, listening to the sound of it. And on your next inhale, just bending your right leg and drawing it in towards your chest. And taking 2 more breaths here. Just drawing that knee towards the armpit. And then letting go the leg, but keeping it bent. Bring your arms all the way behind your head. Just pay attention to what that change does to how your leg feels. Directing your breath towards your hip, towards your right hip. Keeping the arms behind you, let the foot drift to the floor with the knee continuing to be bent. And then allow the sole of that right foot to come against the thigh of the left leg and for the knee to fall open. And notice now you're actually in a tree pose, except you're lying down. With that knee facing out towards the wall, towards the long side of the mat. Good, 1 more breath here. And then we're going to lift this right leg up, and as we lift it up, reaching forward with the left hand to hold on to that right toe. And let me take this opportunity to say hi to Daria and Fenora, Jean, Natalie, Sharon and Patricia. It's lovely to have you all along with me today. Thank you so much. And from here, as you're holding on to this right leg, begin to bring a little bit of straightness into it. It's early on in the practice, so don't be too hard on yourself. Just start to bring some straightness into it, but be generous with the bend so you're not pulling too hard on your hamstring. And open your right hand out to the side. Good, 1 more breath here. And then let's just let this leg come all the way over to the left. Super, don't worry if you can't get it to the ground. You can allow yourself to roll onto your left hip. Super, 1 more breath here. And bringing that leg back to the center, we're going to just roll over onto our left side. And coming up, so you're propping yourself up, keeping your elbow under your shoulder here. We're just going to lift this right leg up and down. Good. Let's do that 3 more times. So you're really getting a bit of action going in the hip. Good, and coming to stillness. Let's lie back on the mat and just take that over to the other side. So lifting the left leg up, hugging it in towards the armpit. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then allowing the arms to come all the way behind you. Again, just noticing how that feels. Directing your breath into your hip as you need it. And 1 more breath. And then allowing this left foot to come up against the right thigh as we come into our reclined tree. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then lifting that left leg up and reaching forward with the right hand, holding on to the left big toe as you begin to stretch out this left leg. Allowing the left hand to come out to the side. 1 more breath here. And then just drawing that left leg over to the right side. One more breath. And letting that leg come down by your side as we just prop ourselves up on this right side, keeping the shoulder over the elbow. And just raising that left leg up and down. Two more times. Good, and making your way back down. We're going to spend a little while on the floor today. So knees bent and feet parallel to each other on the floor. Let's just raise those arms up behind us for a nice full stretch. And 1 more breath here. And then bringing those arms down by your side, let's lift both feet up off the floor and let's just begin to cycle to start to warm up the legs a little bit more. And let's keep this going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and reverse your cycle. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Allowing the feet to drift to the floor. And let both legs just fall over to the left, opening out the arms, looking over to the right. For 3 breaths. And coming back to the center, just lifting up your right leg, putting it across the left leg, flexing that foot, lifting the left leg up. And as you're here, the more you want to do here, the more challenge you want. Start bringing that left leg in towards your chest. Breathing into that right hip. And 1 more breath here. And letting that left leg come to the floor and come all the way out long, just crossing your right leg over your left at the knee. So you've got one knee directly on top of the other. It will feel a little strange because it's just turning your hip in a slightly on an angle you probably don't use very often. Good, one more breath here. Lovely. And then we're gonna keep those knees pressed together. So pushing up with that left knee, we're gonna lift the legs up off the floor. So you still have one knee on top of the other. And if you can, just grasp the outside edge of each foot. What we really want is one knee over the other. So if you can't reach your feet, that's fine. Hold on to your calves or even your thighs. Don't worry if your legs are down here, wherever they are is fine. Just try to keep that one knee on top of the other. Right knee over left. Good, one more breath here. And from here, we're gonna do our double cross, if you can. If you can't get that double wrap, just a single wrap is absolutely fine. And we're gonna roll it over onto our left side, opening out both arms, turning your gaze to the right. And one more breath here. Good. Unraveling the legs here, making your way back to the center. Let's just take that to the other side. So letting the legs drop over to the right. Gaze to the left. And one more breath. And bringing the feet back to the center, putting that left leg over the right, flexing the left foot. And if you want, lifting up that right leg. And again, the more challenging you want it, bringing that right knee towards you will just really increase this action here in the hip. Breathing into that area. And one more breath. Super. And letting that right leg come to the floor, let it come out long. And stepping the left leg across, keeping that left knee on top of the right knee. Flex that right foot. And let's take 3 breaths here. Good, and then beginning to draw up that right knee, keeping the right knee and left knee directly on top of each other. And if you can reach the outside edge of your feet, do. If you can't, again, anywhere is fine. The calves, the backs of the thighs. If you want, just have the 2 feet on the floor. Whatever feels right for you today. Good. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Breathing into any points of tension, any tightness. And then letting those feet come to the floor, keeping the legs wrapped. We're going to this time allow that left leg to move down the right thigh as we double cross here. And roll it over to the right. opening out the arms, turning the gaze to the left. And one more breath here. Good, unraveling the legs, coming back to the center and rolling over onto your side, coming up to sit. Good. How are your hips? Feeling well used. From here, let's just bend that right knee and the left knee. So we've got both legs bent, coming to the side, both to the left side, and we're just going to take a turn towards the right. Finding some length in the spine here now that we're upright. And one more breath. Good. And bringing the two legs in front of you. Let's do as we did lying down. Let's cross that left leg over the right. One knee on top of the other. Sitting up tall. Good. Noticing that angle, that strange angle of the hip. Finding space in the spine here. And let's bend that right leg back. So we've got one knee over the other here. And the two legs coming out to the side. If you can see a little more square than I am, so I'm a little raised here on this left side. And one more breath. And keeping the legs like this, let's just bring that right arm into the center and wrap your left arm around it. If your arm won't go all the way around, that's okay. Put backs of hands together. It's fine. Lifting those elbows up and away from the chest and your palms away from the forehead. So you get a really good shoulder stretch here. Taking two more breaths. Lovely, and unraveling the arms, unraveling the legs, give them a little shake out. And let's take it to the other side. So again, we're just bending both legs and taking a twist to the left. Keeping that length in the spine. Good, two more breaths here. And coming back to center, letting both legs come out straight. And this time we're going to have the right leg over the left. Keeping one knee over the other. Sitting up tall. Good. Taking 3 more breaths here. And one more breath. Feeling that length. Good. Let's draw that left foot back. So we've got one knee directly on top of the other with the feet crossed. Good, sitting up tall, keeping those shoulders over the hips. As you inhale, finding that length in the spine. Good, one more breath. And let's bring the arms into it. So this time, left arm comes into the center, right arm comes under. Lifting those elbows up and away. Palms of the hands away. Breathing into the shoulders and the hips here. One more breath. And unraveling the arms. Unraveling the legs. Give them a little shake. And let's make our way up to standing. Finding our way up to the top of the mat. Good, and just checking in here with yourself, looking down at those feet, hip distance apart in a nice straight line. Equal weight right across the four corners of the feet, pressing those big toes into the mat. Good, thinking about lifting the kneecaps to start to engage the quads, lifting up the chest. Starting to bring a bit of engagement into the core as you exhale, lifting that pelvic floor, bring that belly button in and up. Open the palms of the hands outwards. Good, one more breath here. Lovely, and you can just soften that stance a little bit. Raise the arms up. And we're going to run through a couple of sun salutes, which most of you know really well by now. Go with your version. And I'll talk through it. So sweeping down into a forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to here. And a halfway lift, nice long spine, keeping that gaze on the mat in front of you. And forward fold, stepping the right leg back, drop the knee, open the foot, and rise up into a low lunge, lifting the gaze to get a little back bend in here, and hands down either side of the foot, stepping back into your plank, keeping a little bend in the elbows, good, and coming down through knees, feet, chest, keep the elbows in. Rolling into a baby cobra. Gaze on the floor in front of you as you push up through your tabletop into what is your first dog of the day. So you've done a lot of stretching of your legs and your hamstrings, but you haven't been in a dog. So take it easy on yourself. Pedal your way into it. Find your point of stillness. Pushing those hips back towards the back of the mat. Nice long spine. Gaze towards the belly button. Let's get that right leg up to the top of the mat by whatever means works for you. And drop that left knee. Open out the foot. And rise up into your low lunge. Hands down either side of the foot to step up. Bend those knees to come all the way up. Great stuff. Let's take it on the other side. Arms up, sweeping out into your forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, left leg back. Dropping the knee. Open the foot into your low lunge. And transitioning into your plank. Round of breath here, keeping the gaze on the floor and elbows in as you make your way down. Roll through to your cobra. Elbows in. And pushing back through tabletop into your downward dog. And bringing that left leg up to the top of the mat. Dropping the right knee, open the foot. Coming all the way up. And stepping it up into a forward fold, bend the knees. To come to the top of the mat. Great stuff. Let's take that once again on either side. Arms up and sweeping out. Halfway lift. Forward fold, stepping back into your low lunge. And moving it into your plank. Little micro bend in the elbows as we make our way down through knees, feet and chest. Roll through and pushing up through tabletop. Adjust yourself here as much as you need to make sure that your hips are really pushing back here. And stepping that right leg up to the top of the mat. Dropping the left knee for your low lunge. And stepping it up to a forward fold and all the way up to standing last time. Raising those arms up and sweeping out into your forward fold. Let's take a breath here. And come into halfway lift. And forward fold. Stepping that left leg back. And rising up into your low lunge. And hands down either side of the foot to step back into your plank. And coming down. Through cobra. Into tabletop and up to your downward dog. And stepping that left foot up. Coming up to your low lunge. Hands down either side. Let's step that right foot up to meet the left. Bend the knees as you come all the way up. Good, well done. Checking in on those feet once again. Just making sure they're in a nice straight line. Hips over heels, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. So we're all in a nice straight line. And from here, bringing the arms out into a T. And then just bending the elbows. Good. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Just try to keep those arms up. And on that exhale, lift the pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up for a little bit of core engagement. Lovely, one more breath. Bringing the hands down onto your hips. We're going to take it into a tree. So you did a fabulous tree lying down. Let's shift it now to a tree standing up. So shifting the weight into this left leg. Think about pulling up through the inside thigh of that left leg to give you that extra strength. Right foot turned at a right angle. So it's pointing towards the long side of the mat. And then begin to just lift it up to wherever works for you. So that could be your just above your ankle, or getting the whole foot onto the thigh, or perhaps, onto the calf, or perhaps onto the thigh. Whatever works for you, but keeping that foot well away from the knee, wherever it is. Find a gaze point. Let your attention come to your breath. If you want, you can begin to raise your arms up and open them out. Good, keeping that focus. And one more breath. Bringing the hands together in prayer and with fantastic control. Allowing that right foot to come to the floor. Well done. Great stuff. And from here, we're going to step out wide on the mat. Turning those feet out. Let's just sink down here into a squat. Really starting to feel it here on those inside thighs. Good, and perhaps on the quads. Let's open those arms out once more. Keeping the chest nice and open here, really good. And one more breath. Lovely. Bringing the hands onto the hips, turning that right foot towards the front of the mat. Left foot just swing it around so your heels are in a straight line. Your left foot is pointing at a kind of 45-degree angle. And let's open it out into your warrior two. Nice open chest here, keeping that bend in the right knee. Really good. One more breath, shoulders soft. Bringing the hands onto the hips. We're going to step this left foot across the mat and turn it so we square our hips up with the front of the mat. Got that? You might need to adjust that right knee. So now our hips are nice and square. We're facing towards the front of the mat. And we're in our warrior one. But in our warrior one, let's just lift up that left arm and bring it into the center and wrap that right arm around it. Lifting those elbows up, bringing the palms away from the forehead. Good. Keep an equal weight in both feet. That right knee over the right ankle. Really breathing into this pose. Super. One more breath. Unraveling the arms, bringing the hands onto the hips. We're going to step that left foot forward to meet the right foot. Toes together. Heels a little bit apart as we sit into our chair. Good. From here, in a minute, we're going to be lifting up our right foot and wrapping it around our left leg. You can do a single wrap or a double wrap, whichever works for you. So it's like what we were doing on the mat, but we're doing it standing up. So let's shift the weight into that left leg, lift up the right leg, wrap it around the left leg. Find your point of balance. And when you've got it, bring your left hand to the front and wrap that right arm under. Good. Find a focal point. One more breath. And unravel as you come all the way up. Good, reaching those arms up nice and tall. Let's just bend into a forward fold and let's just hang here for a minute. One more breath. And bending those knees, making your way all the way up to standing nice and tall. Bringing the arms out to the side into a T and up into your cactus arms. Good, keeping those elbows up. Trying at the same time to keep the shoulders soft. So we don't want the shoulders hunching up to help us keep it up. We want to keep the shoulders soft and down, but the arms up. Good, and as you're exhaling, remember, lift that pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up. Super, one more breath. Now letting these arms come down onto the hips as we take tree on the other side. So you're shifting your weight into that right leg and then beginning to lift that left foot up to wherever works for you today. Find your point of balance. And if you wish, you can begin to move the arms upwards and open them out into your full tree. Good, really lifting up from that inside thigh. One more breath here. And letting it come down. And if, like me, your leggings are slippy, it can be a little challenging. The best thing to do is to push the foot against the leg and the leg against the foot. And stepping wide onto the mat, turning those feet out. Good, sinking down into your squat. Bringing those arms up in prayer so they're zipped together. And then open them out. So you open the chest. Lovely. And on that exhale, lifting the pelvic floor, bring the belly button in and up. Super. Hands down onto the hips. Let's just turn this left foot to the back of the mat, keeping this left leg bent. Right leg, heels in a straight line with each other. As we move into our warrior two. Shoulders soft, looking out through that front hand. Just check in with your shoulders here. Turn your palms to face the ceiling and notice what that does to your shoulder blades, how it almost plugs those arms in. Keeping the arms in, just twist the palm to face downwards again. Good. One more breath here. And bringing the hands onto the hips. Remember, we're squaring up now. So we want to bring this foot so it's facing forward. Perhaps open this left foot out a little bit more. Square the hips up with the back of the mat. Good. Equal weight on both feet. Lovely. In our warrior one. And let's bring that right arm into the center this time and wrap the left arm around it. Good, lifting those elbows up and pushing the palms away. Good, focusing on the feet, keeping equal weight on the feet. Shoulders over the hips. Super, one more breath here. And unraveling the arms, putting the hands onto the hips as we step forward into our chair. Feet together, heels, toes together, heels a little bit apart, sitting down. Good. One more breath here. And lifting the left foot up this time. We're going to wrap it around. Single or double. And bringing the right arm into the center, wrapping the arms around. See, I told you I find this so challenging. Find your point. And your stillness. Good. One more breath. And unravel. It's my least favorite pose. Raising the arms up tall and forward fold. Good, just let it hang here. That pose is called eagle pose. And it is really good for strengthening the lower body, stretching out the shoulders. But it's also very good for your circulation
and your digestive system, because it gets your body into such a peculiar way of holding itself. I'm sure you can feel that in the hips. And from here, just let those feet walk apart, toes turning out, and drop yourself down into a squat. Finding length in the spine here, pushing your elbows into your knees and your knees into your elbows. Don't worry if your feet aren't flat on the floor, that's fine, be up on your toes. But find nice length in the spine. Good, one more breath here. Especially in these poses where your legs are open a little bit wider, think about that lifting the pelvic floor, bringing the belly button in and up. Lovely, hands down onto the mat and make your way down onto all fours. Good. And from here, last hip stretch of the day, bring that right knee up to the up to the right wrist. Walk your right foot across and then make your way all the way down onto the floor as low as is comfortable. It could be on your forearms or perhaps right down onto your forehead. And just let your breath find its way to your hips and your legs. Taking 5 more breaths here. And making your way back up onto all fours. Let's just take that over to the other side. Good. Letting that right leg go all the way back as you make your way down to the floor. Keeping connected with the breath, listening to the sound of your own breathing. And taking 5 more breaths here. Directing your breath into any area of tightness or tension. And one more breath. And making your way back onto all fours and then rolling it over onto your back as you prepare for your final resting position of Shavasana. And I will just take this opportunity to say thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoyed that trip around the hips and that you feel the benefit of it tomorrow. We are here live every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 6. Love to have your company. And if you like what we do, we would love your support. You can become a patron of Love Doing Yoga for just €5 a month. You get access obviously to the 3 live classes, but we email them to you so you can do them at a time that suits you. And we also send you the odd bonus practice and meditation. I will take this opportunity to bid you a namaste now, as I invite you to really start to take in all of the benefits of that practice and let yourself go. Let go your feet completely. Let go your lower legs. Let them melt away. Let go your knees and your upper legs. Especially let go your hips, your glutes, and your whole pelvic area. Let them totally relax. Letting go your belly, your chest, your shoulders, the whole front of your body. Just letting it go. Letting go your shoulder blades, your upper back and lower back. Just letting it melt into the floor. Letting go your hands and forearms, elbows and upper arms, armpits, the whole of your arms. Just letting it go. Letting go the back of your head and the crown of your head, your forehead and eyebrows, eyes, cheeks, jaws, chin, lips and tongue. Just let it all go. Let your attention move to your breath. As you breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. And take a little moment here of gratitude to yourself for gifting yourself this practice, and gratitude to all of us for practicing together, and for whatever you have to be grateful for today. And through your breath, begin to connect with your inner self, your true nature. As you inhale, just thank yourself, thinking thank you. And as you exhale, allow that gratitude to spread throughout your body, throughout the room, and beyond.